Hey there, so you are wondering if Utah is a good place to visit here in the fall? Well, today I'm going to be sharing with you some activities and some things that my family and I love doing here in Utah, and we're gonna hop into it right now. Mariah, Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. This channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and tap that bell for notifications so every time we drop a new video, you will be notified. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to make a move or relocating here to Utah, and we absolutely love it. So if you are thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our absolute pleasure to connect with you. So I have gotten this question a lot recently. Hey Mariah, my family and I are thinking about making a move out to Utah, but we're not exactly sure what is the best season to come to Utah. We're wondering, we've heard obviously the snow is great in Utah, so should we come in the summer or should we come in the winter, or should we come in the summer when it's really warm? I don't know. Honestly, I really think there is no bad season to visit Utah, but let me tell you, fall is definitely one of my absolutely very favorite seasons to visit Utah. Years ago, my husband and I, when we had first moved down to Southern California, we're both originally from Northern California. My husband was going to graduate school out here in Utah. We lived here for 1 year before we took jobs. Both of us took jobs down in Southern California. When we moved down to Southern California, I remember every time it was, the season of fall hit Southern California, you really were like, okay, wait, is it fall? Is it not? Like, it still feels like summer, right? And so we would come back out here to Utah in the fall just for a short weekend, or, a week, or whatever we had time for at that point, because I was like, I have to see the fall colors. They are so gorgeous. So one of the very first things that we love doing here in Utah is just, there are so many different canyons here in Utah. You've got Big Cottonwood Canyon, you've got Little Cottonwood Canyon, you've got American Fork Canyon, you've got Provo Canyon, you've got, Payson Canyon. There are so many canyons that are in and around the Salt Lake City, Utah area, down in Utah County too. But a lot of these canyons will have, you can just drive for miles and miles, but a lot of them will have areas that you can pull off, and then you can go hike through the canyon, different places. They have picnic areas, they have rest stops, they have places, a lot of them will have for camping and whatnot. So one of our very favorite things is really just to drive through the canyons, look at all the fall colors, and then a lot of times we'll pull off, we will go for a hike through those canyons. So that is definitely number one. Going along with being in those different canyons and enjoying all the fall colors that are there, I have done a lot of different running races through the canyons in the fall too. And some of my favorite, really, what they will do is you meet at a certain place and they will bus you up to the top of the canyon, and then you just run all the way down the canyon until you get to the finish line. But a lot of these canyons have little streams and rivers on the side. There are no cars. They block off a lot of the cars at that point. So when you are running in the fall, the air is still crisp, but it is so gorgeous. You've got the change of colors. There really isn't anything better. So for me, we love going for the drives, love going for the hikes or for the runs, which is incredible. The next thing, and some of you may or may not know about this was one of those things that I actually did not know that Utah has a lot of. Utah has a lot of natural hot springs. Yes, natural hot springs. So there are a lot of places that you can park, go for a short hike, and then you've got just I mean, I don't want to say miles, but many, many, many pools and springs, natural hot springs that are right off the side of many different hiking trails. Now, recently I ended up going with a friend of mine and she's like, hey, I've been hearing about this natural hot spring. Do you want to check it out with me? And I was like, yeah, definitely. So we took a short drive, parked, went for a short hike, and then literally just so many beautiful hot springs. Some of these hot springs, warning and a pro tip. Pro tip number one is you may want to bring your bathing suit, because there are actually people you are in your bathing suit in the natural hot springs, and it is so fun. So bring a bathing suit, bring a towel. You might want to bring your backpack to put all your stuff in there. Some of the pools though are very hot. Like, I mean, almost it felt like boiling hot. So I could stick a toe in and be like, okay, I'm good. But the farther down you go, a lot of times they get a little bit cooler. And so a lot of them actually just feel like bath water. But you've got these natural hot springs. You are completely surrounded by the changing colors, the fall. It's still crisp air, but you're in what feels like nice warm bath water, or if you're in one of the really, really hot springs. But it's just such a fun experience. So that's my next one for fall here in Utah, is you've got to check out those natural hot springs. 3 are the national parks here in Utah. Honestly, in my personal opinion, I think the fall time is the best time to visit the national parks. And let me tell you why. Number one, the crowds and the lines getting into the parks are way less than you will see in the summer times. And so I know sometimes we have gone to the parks in the fall, in the spring, in the summertime, you can generally count on there being lines unless you get there really early. In the fall time, when we have visited national parks, we have not seen a lot of lines to get in. In fact, it seems like the crowds, the lines are significantly less. And then when you go to those national parks, like I mentioned before, just with the change of colors and scenery, it is so gorgeous, and your temperatures are still within reason. So it's not going to be scorching like it usually is in the summertime, but a lot, depending if you go early fall, you are going to have some very mild, pleasant temperatures. You might want to bring a light jacket, but you're not going to have, it's not going to be too cold, and those temperatures should be really nice, and the crowds and lines should be a lot less. And Utah in the fall, they know how to do fall activities, fall festivals, fall pumpkin patches, you name it. When the first year that we had moved here, my kids, every time we'd go down the street, they're like, there's another pumpkin patch. Mommy, there's another, fall festival. There's another fall corn maze. Utah knows how to have a lot of fall festivals. They know how to have a lot of fun here in Utah. We have taken our kids in Lehi, Utah. It's called Thanksgiving Point. Every year they have what's called corn bellies. At corn bellies, they've got, a big corn maze. They've got tractor rides. They've got other rides where, they even have the little gunny sacks where you sit on it and you slide down. They've got the haunted houses. They've got beanbag tosses. They've got the carameled apples. They've got so many different fun things for fall. A lot of times we have had friends that will get a pass where they can go for the entire season for a much more discounted rate. Obviously, you can just buy tickets one time, but that is a really fun, way to get the fall feeling and fall spirit started. There are a ton of different places and orchards that have apple picking nearby. Burgess Apple, Orchard is one of our favorite ones to go to. But just lots of different fall activities. And I know my kids love going and, they'll go find different fall leaves. And when we go hiking, we recently took our kids through Provo Canyon, and they have what's called Bridal Veil Falls. And it's a nice paved trail that you can go through. There are fall trees on, just the color trees, the streams, the rivers. It really is just so gorgeous here. So if you are thinking about coming out in the fall, I would highly recommend it. Yes, winter's amazing. Yes, summer here is magical. Spring is great too. But honestly, me personally saying fall is definitely my favorite season here in Utah. And the kids keep saying, Mommy, you keep saying it's so beautiful. I said, I know, but it is. It's just so beautiful. So if you are thinking about taking a visit or making a move or anything, I would highly recommend fall. And again, if you are thinking about making a move or relocating out here to Utah and want to know some more information, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our pleasure to connect with you. Take care and have a great one. Bye.